talking about Airborne School, do you remember your first jump? What, like,
I do,
leading up
and
to
I
it,
can
like
tell.
leading up to your first jump, like the training, all that stuff.
Yeah. So Airborne School is broken up into 3 weeks, and it has for decades. It's you'd be surprised if you went in 1982 how similar it is today. But down to some of the goofy things that we say or cadences that we say on runs, whatever it might be. But anyways, yeah, the first week is ground week, and you're basically learning how to fall. Like you're learning how to do a proper PLF, a parachute landing fall. You're learning how to you would do individual exits on the mock tower, so the 34-foot tower that's connected to a zip line. You're going to individually exit out of that with a group of 4 people, but or actually no, not a group of 4 people, just individually. And so you're learning how to do that, just like in that 34-foot. Like there's a lot of rumors of why it's 34-foot, whatever it is. Challenge, take advantage of it, jump out of that, or jump out of that 34-foot, ride the zip line down, and a lot of running in the morning. So you're doing 3-mile runs in the morning throughout the day, and throughout the day back to Chow Hall, all this stuff. So you're running all the time. I remember that. That was like, man, why are we running all the time? This is stupid. Side note, I underestimated the physical side of joining the Army during this whole thing. Like when I joined, I just, for some reason, didn't really think about the physical side. And when I get to basic training, they're like, we're going to run. I'm like, run? Like, okay. I never ran in my life. I don't know why I underestimated that. But anyways, yeah, we ran all the time and did all that. But then Tower Week, week 2, is now you're doing mock door, mass exit, mock door. So you're or mock door, mass exit, whatever it is, where you're jumping as a group. So you get a group of 4 people, and you're jumping out of the 34-foot tower. And the Sergeant Airborne will give you a scenario, like there'll be like partial malfunction, and you have to react to that with your reserve. Or maybe just get out a twist or whatever that is. And they're grading you, they're watching you do that. And my class, we were very fortunate to do the 250-foot towers. So like the legendary towers that have been there since the 50s, 40s. And there's a reason why we don't do those anymore. It's simply because the parachute that was on there was specifically designed for the 250 tower, and they're redesigning it. It went out of date. They're redesigning it. So they'll do it again soon. We don't know when. Probably a couple years from now, they'll fire it up again. But the weather has to be perfect, and not everybody in the class gets to do it because it takes so long. But basically, they put a giant parachute on you. They put it in a giant ring in the parachute. They hook it all up, so now the canopy's fully open, and you're standing off to the side of it. And there's a winch that will pull you up 250 feet, and you're just hanging there. And they hit a button, and you fall. And that's your real first time of learning how to do a PLF. And because I worked at the schoolhouse, they were like, Knight, come here. Like hooked me up and took me up the 250 tower. And I'm so thankful I did it, because now, like, not very many people get to do it. Then jump week comes. You wake up at 4:00 in the morning on Monday, and a whole bunch of like safety briefs and stuff like that you're going to receive. You're going to put your parachute on at probably 8:00 in the morning, and you're going to sit there, and maybe 7:00 in the morning. You're going to sit there, and you're going to sit there, and you're going to wait for a Sergeant Airborne to come JMPI you, Jump Master Parachute Inspection, making sure you donned it right, making sure it was like packed right, essentially, and stuff like that. And then you're going to sit down, and you're going to sit there, and you're going to sit there. And I think first load is around 11:00. I dropped my headphones here. Your first load's around like 11:00, but like if you're not on the first chalk, you're just still going to be waiting. And so I remember my first jump, and I remember this, and I wrote it down so I could tell the other students this. This is the situation, and 130 jumps in. This is what goes on in my mind. You walk out of the aircraft, and you're like, man, I look so cool. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm the coolest guy in the world. Like, I'm getting ready to get on that aircraft. And then you sit down, and it's like real rushed, like sit down, sit down, sit down. And then you take off, and you're like, oh goodness, this is a little different than Delta, right? Like this is a lot different. And then they open the door, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I thought I was cool, but it's a lot easier to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. And then they're going to say, get ready, stand up. You're going to stand up and you're going to hook up, basically. And you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm ready to quit. This is ridiculous. This is a lot easier to quit. What was the situation they told me if I jump or fuse? Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then they say, green light, go. And you just go. Like, and literally you're going to exit the aircraft and you're going to count to 6,000, maybe. Your eyes are probably going to be closed. And then you're going to look up and be like, I don't know how I just did that. I literally don't know how I just did that. And that was incredible. And then you're going to be floating around like, this is the coolest thing in the world. This is amazing. And then you're going to be about 100 feet from the ground and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. The ground is coming. This is ridiculous. It's a lot easier to quit. And then you smash into the ground and you're like, that was the coolest thing in the world. I want to do that all over again. And 135 jumps later, whatever I'm at, I still have that mentality of you have to like basically turn your mind off and just let your training that you've received over the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks to kind of kick in. And it happens every time. And it's neat. But your first jump, you got to piss so bad because you just been sitting in a harness shed since 7 a.m. And so that's all you kind of really think about is like, man, if I hit the ground, I can go pee.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up in the corner here and check out this next video. If you want, in the description down below, there's links where you can get Scuttlebutt Show merch and find out how you can support the channel. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you guys very soon.